How you guys doing? All right. Hey, my name's Matt Easton. I am founder at Easton University. If you guys know me, social media, if you've seen me, I'm not that exciting, but I got a lot of followers on social media for sales. How do we communicate skillfully? How do we close deals? How do we get what we need to do done in an easy, more effective way? Um, Little quick story about me. So I grew up with a single mom. My mom made $4,000 a year, so things were not great. At 8 years old, I had the chance encounter. I was playing with a little Porsche. I showed it to those guys. I carried it around with me wherever I go. I was playing with a little Porsche, and the actual Porsche drove by my house. And when your mom makes $4,000 a year, that doesn't happen very often. And I was like, this might be a drug dealer, like, because Miami Vice was on TV back then. And so I ran after the Porsche, turned out to be a sales rep from a company called Texas Instruments. He gave me a little pep talk and a speak and spell because I couldn't read all that well. Changed my life. I started at 8 years old. I'm like, I need to figure out this sales thing like Kobe Bryant needed to figure out baseball. So I literally became known as Skinny. I was the kid that would hang around people like Mo Siegel, the founder of Celestial Seasonings Tea, Frank Shorter, the person that started the Boulder race, Bill Kitchen, who invented indoor skydiving. I would pick up their dog poop, pull their weeds, sweep their rocks, put their Christmas trees, lights up, Hanukkah lights, all that good stuff. And I just wanted to learn. Well, the reason why I'm telling you this is I started to learn pretty quick. There's a skill set that uber successful people have, and it's sales. Whether they call themselves in sales or not, they know how to get people's attention. They know how to communicate skillfully. They know how to close. Now, unfortunately, I read every single sales book, and no disrespect to the other people that do sales coaching, most of the stuff that I learned from uber successful people is not 152 ways to close. It's not your typical sales stuff. So I know we've got roughly 20 minutes. I got 17 minutes and 52 seconds. Um, what are we going to do in 17 minutes and 47 seconds? We're going to drink from a fire hose. Okay. You guys, what happens when you drink from a fire hose? Does anybody know? You spill most of it. Okay. So I'm going to drop some knowledge on you guys today. Feel free to take pictures of the screens. If you have a quick question, feel free to answer it. But here's what I want to do. I want to get you guys poised for a great 2025. So I'm going to show you what my ESP, what the Easton sales process looks like. I'm going to kind of just give you a little taste of how things can be easier for you. And then I'm going to teach you how to close deals. Does anyone want to learn how to close? Okay, good. I'm going to teach you how to do it. By the way, if you're like, I don't sell, but you have kids, I'm going to teach you how to get their homework done, right? If you are trying to get some financing, right? I just talked to a big finance guy out in the hallway right there. If you need somebody to loan you some money, I'm going to show you how to do that. If you want to hire somebody from your company and you want them to come and work for your amazing company versus somebody else, I'm going to show you how to do that. That's closing, right? You guys had to close 7 times already today, so I'm going to teach you how to close. That right there is my mobile number, 720-660-3202. My supermodel wife says I need friends. So if you guys want to be best friends, save my number. Happy to help. I just moved to Florida. All my jujitsu and UFC and mixed martial arts friends are back in Denver. I'm happy to be your friend, right? That's actually my bona fide number. Let's talk about this. Why is it so much harder to do business today? Who wants to take a guess? And I know we got 16 minutes and I got to teach you a lot of stuff. Does anyone want to yell it out? Why is it harder to do business today? Competition. I love it. Why else? Distractions. I agree with both of those. Competition and distractions. Like if I had to summarize it, our customers, the people we want to do business with, whether we're a real estate agent, whether we're an awesome new way of doing business like Propy, the people that we need to connect with, whether you're single and you want to mingle, right? The people you want to connect with have access to more information than ever before, and they've got more choices than ever before. So that old way of like calling somebody and trying to pitch them and talking about yourself is like me running into a nightclub going, yo, DJ, stop the music. Emmy is in the house. I'm wearing an orange jacket. I'm a black belt in jiu-jitsu. I got millions of dollars. I'm super smart. Who wants kids? Ow. That would get me slapped. right? So a lot of times in our sales career, and I know there's like social media people up there, like, you got to do this. And the more we bombard the market, and I'm not saying that's bad, but it's marketing. Marketing and sales are two damn different things. Like the idea of you just getting followers and bombarding people with information, you're just giving people more information, right? And they don't know who's who. They can't tell you from the competition. Okay, there's an easier way to do things. This is it. Okay, you won't see this in any sales board. I've been working on this since I was 8 years old. Okay, there's not 157 ways to close. This is ESP. This has made me a ton of money, and not a ton of money from selling and investing in it, a ton of money actually selling. When you guys in life, whether you're a real estate agent, whether you're a CEO of a company, whether you're just trying to get a date with somebody, whether you're trying to get your kids to do their homework, or you're trying to get a promotion, when you slow down in the beginning, you will speed up the results in the end. They should tell you this on your first day of adult life. When you slow down in the beginning, it will go real fast for you in the end. When you speed up in the beginning, yo, I'm single and I want to mingle, it's not going to go well for you in the end. So you guys have to learn, how do you get somebody's attention? Getting somebody's attention, like if I was going to cold call them, wouldn't be, hey, if I could have 15 minutes of your time, would love to tell you about Propy. It's a brand new technology. It's making things easier. It's great. Would love to have 10 minutes to demo it to you, right? It would be something like, what's your name? Michael. If I was leaving Michael a voicemail, I'm going to let them know, I'm going to let Michael know who I am, how we're connected. And then I might say something like this. Hey, Michael, Matt Easton from Propy, you and I are connected on LinkedIn. Hey, there is something that every real estate agent in Kansas City is having to deal with. Nobody's talking about it. I just wanted to make sure you were aware of it. Right? Something I'd love to get your opinion on. Slow down, guys. And don't, by the way, if you guys want to like play around with this without being on Easton University, be my guest, but don't ruin this for me and everybody else that's working this system. Don't be a, you know what, and when they call you back, please, thanks for calling me back. Oh, let me go into my product demo, right? Give them an insight that's useful to them. Like one of my clients that's on Easton University, Veradigm. It's a huge company. It used to be Allscripts. You guys know the name Allscripts. Why the hell did they change their name? I don't know. I don't want to get fired as their coach. The Allscripts name was huge. But they have a new product, and it listens to the physician and the patient and can take notes for the physician. Badass product. Wasn't selling at all. Because they were calling people going, we have a brand new technology, artificial intelligence based, it's listening, it's taking your notes, it's going to save you time, it's going to make you a lot of money. They're like, Matt, why can't we sell it? I'm like, why don't you call them and say there's something that every physician's having to deal with that nobody's talking about? They're like, well, what do we say? Take a minute and reverse engineer. Why the hell would somebody, like I asked you this question before we started, why would somebody want to do business with Propy? And then reverse engineer that. I'm like, why would they want this? Well, because they have to see more patients. All right, here's the thing that nobody's talking about. Physicians have to see 3 times, with facts, 3 times more patients in a day than they did 10 years ago. That's 60 patients a day on average. Here's what nobody's talking about. When I divide up my day into 60 segments, the gap in between each patient gets really small, and there's more of them. And now on average, where it used to be 45 minutes to an hour between patients, 2 to 3 minutes. And now here's what I'm not doing. I'm not going into a demo and going, let me show you what we do. I'm saying, how are you dealing with that? And I'm having a gosh darn discussion, guys. How are you dealing with that? If I was a mortgage broker and I was calling agents, I would talk about all the hard work it is to find a goddamn buyer right now. And then they're kicking that over to the mortgage broker they're used to doing business with. And that mortgage broker has the creativity of a box of rocks and is going, no way we can get you approved on a $12 million house, right? And that person's getting frustrated and going, I'm out. We're just going to stay in Denver. We're not moving to Boca, right? How are you dealing with that? Man, I never thought about that. You guys have to slow down in the beginning. I have 10 minutes left, okay? I want to teach you how to close. Get their attention. Figure out a way to get their attention. Here's one of the easiest things that I teach my students at Easton University. If you're a white belt in Easton University, just make a bunch of calls to raise your hand. That sounds like, it's Mike, right? That sounds like this. Hey, Mike, Matt, Easton, over here at Easton University. You and I are connected on LinkedIn. Hey, I just want to raise my hand, let you know I'm out here in terms of sales coaching. Anytime you need anything, you want to bounce an idea off of somebody, My wife says I need some friends. I'm here for you 100%, whether you're a client or not. Just make 15 calls and raise your hand. If they don't know you, they can't flow you. Just let people know you're out here. You guys are making it too damn hard for yourselves. You're like, I have to sell people, right? No, you don't. You have to get their attention first. Then you got to deliver an insight. Then you got to figure out the current situation. Where are they at right now? Where do they want to be? Mike, just out of curiosity, what are you making in your real estate business right now? Where do you want to be? Right? Well, I did 4.7 million last year. I'd like to be to 12. You know, because of the fact that you had said, bump, now you've monetized it. Now you can do the demo and proposal. Then you can do a no pressure close. Okay? I've got 9 minutes left. Told you you're drinking from a fire hose. I'm going to show you how to close. But I just want you guys to understand this. Okay? Look at where my demo and proposal is. Where is everybody else's? It's at the beginning. This is, how the hell do we have this figured out? Well, some of us. How the heck do we have this figured out in our dating life? But yet when we bring this into our professional career, we're like, yo, want to get married? Yo, want to get married? Yo, want to get married? And we don't understand why people aren't calling us back. You guys need to have a system of getting people's attention, monetize them doing business with you, have them understand the situation. You have to have a system to close, which I'm going to teach you. I have 8 minutes left, and it's Friday. Lottie-dottie, who likes to potty? We don't cause trouble. We don't bother nobody. We're going to learn how to close in 8 minutes. I have you covered there, okay? But all of this leads to a sustainable pipeline. Other people in the sales industry, they're going to start stealing that from me. That's mine. That's been mine since the 90s because I didn't have a lot of money. And I'm like, I ain't burning through Mike. I'll never piss Mike off to where Mike's not going to call me. So Mike's like, man, I'm not interested in Propy. Hey, no problem, Mike. I will be here when you need to streamline your title process, escrow, right? And are able to work with those clients that just don't have the patience of a traditional client. Fair enough, right? And okay. And then he leaves that conversation, go, man, that was actually pretty insightful, right? Like, I'm not going to push anybody, okay? So that's ESP. I want you guys to see that. Make sure you're putting yourself in a position of understanding Mike's situation, no matter what your business is, so you can. Hey, Mike, does it make sense to have you send over some contracts so you can be well on your way to going from 4.5 million to 7.4? Understand their why, what's going on in their world. You can say, so you can, okay? Certainty creates momentum. When you guys call people, never ever use the F word. We're not following up or checking in, okay? Hey, Mike wanted to reach out to you personally, make sure my people got you all the information you needed. What do I sound like? Sound like the founder of the company. Yeah, and I'm coming in from a high level. What do my people sound like when they call Mike? Hey, Mike, it's Tiffany over here at Easton University. Wanted to reach out to you personally, make sure my people got you all. They sound exactly like I do. Not, hey, Mike, how's your day going? Happy Friday to you. Hope it's going well. If we can have 15 minutes of your time. We're not doing that anymore. People don't have the time for that. Okay? Be able to be in a position, and I know I got 6 minutes left, and I still got to teach you guys how to close. Okay? There's 53 hours on the Easton University portal, plus I do live coaching every Tuesday and Thursday. You're drinking from a fire hose. Just know this. Figure this out on your own if you're not going to figure it out from me. But you need in life to be able to say things like, Mike, because of the fact that you said blank, I'd like to recommend blank. Not just recommend stuff, right? Be in that position, okay? We had a little talk about this. I'm not getting into it, but you guys have to realize this. Objections need to be handled or addressed, not overcome. Anybody who's trained you on how to overcome objections does not understand how life works. They understand how sales, as written by people that write sales books, work. In actual business of people that went from having a mom making $4,000 a year to, I don't know, I moved to South Florida. I thought I was doing pretty well. Don't move to South Florida if you think you're doing pretty well, because there's another guy with a much bigger boat right around the corner every time. But I'll just say I have a very comfortable life. We'll just leave it at that. I didn't get to where I wanted to be by overcoming any objection. I handled or addressed it, right? And what we just talked with the team, 90% of the things that you're facing that you're labeling an objection, trying to overcome it, it's not an objection at all. It's a complaint. Just simply agree and move forward. Man, you're great I can't believe you're charging 6%. I get it. Does it make sense to have me list the house? So you can get from Denver over to Boca and really enjoy that membership at the Boca Raton that you spent $100. Yeah, it does. Are you sure you can't go lower on your commission, Mike? Yeah, I'm sure. Okay, let's do it. Right? You guys don't have to get in arguments with people. All right, let me teach you how to close. I only got 5 minutes. This might be the fastest in history I've ever taught people how to close. Okay, or I can just go and give you 5 minutes back. Does anyone want to learn how to close? 3 of you want to learn how to close. Okay, all right. Let me show you. What do we want them to do? Mike, what do we want them to do? Give me an example. What would you want what would be a close in your world? Yeah. Sign a contract. Okay. What do you do, Mike? Perfect. Yeah, you want to list their, let's be real though. You want to list their house. You want them to sign a listing, a seller's agreement with you, a listing agreement, right? You want that. Good. What else could be examples of closes for people? Go ahead. Get your customer happy is touchy-feely. This is football, right? I'm calling in the play. Like, we need to know exactly, because happy is it's good. I like it. I like where your head's at emotionally, but I can't measure happiness. What I could measure is Mike allowing to have you do a demo, right? Or I could measure, let's say Mike had to send you something, getting him to send it, right? Getting your kids to do their homework before a hockey practice. Give you a referral, right? Yeah, I can teach you a different way to get referrals. Don't use this close. There's a much easier way to get referrals. We don't have time, so we got 3 minutes, 39 seconds. So you guys get what I'm saying here. A close, and this is where, whether you guys become friends with me and get on eastonuniversity.com or not, this will change your whole world. If you're listening, one of you in this room is listening right now and figuring this out, you are not attempting space travel. Right? But if you can start saying, this is what I want, and you can quantify it, then it's much easier to get it. Okay, so in Mike's case, he wants the list. It's Mike, right? Yeah. In my best friend Mike's case, he wants the listing agreement, right? So what do typical real estate professionals say to get somebody? Hey, do you want me to list the house? Or hey, do you want to sign the contract? Right? It's typically it's a do you want to blank? Don't ever ask that again as long as you live. Okay? Before social media and people had cameras, I used to go down to Celestial Seasonings. I have 2 minutes left. I might go a minute over. You guys need to hear this story because it's important. I'm riding my bike. It was a yellow JCPenney's bike. My mom made $4,000 a year. I was lucky to have that bike. And I rode it on a place in Boulder, Colorado called the Diagonal Highway. This is before bikes were cool, guys. There wasn't even bike lanes in 1982. And somebody told Mr. Siegel, the founder of Celestial Seasonings, hey, did you know that Skinny rides a bike down the highway? And Mo was like, Skinny, get over here. Hey, they told me you're riding a yellow bike down the highway to get here. I said, yes, sir. So why are you riding your bike? It's faster than walking, sir. And he's like, why don't you just take the bus? Bus is expensive. He's like, why don't you ask your mom for money for the bus? And I was like, my mom's broke. And he's like, yeah, but why don't you ask her? And I'm like, she'd say no. And he goes, therein lies the problem. He'd always give me little lectures. He's like, that's why, and pardon my language, guys, I'm just going to use Mo Siegel's language. There was a place called Kmart back then. You guys are all probably too young to know what Kmart was. If you're old like me, you remember what Kmart was. He's like, and that's why you little bastards are always yelling and crying in Kmart. I can't stand you guys in the toilet. He's like, it's because you don't know how to ask your mom. What would you say to your mom? And I'm like, Mom, can I have 25 cents for the bus? And he goes, let me solve it for you right now. And he reached into his pocket because we had money back keys in our pocket glove. In the air. And he goes, calling. And it's tails. But you can have the quarter endings. The problem is you're asking your mom all they require. You're saying, asking her a question, and then yes or no. She say, oh, it's great, you guys are the quarter. This says, no, what the hell do you do? Mr. Siegel did not have the answer to that question. He was really good at phrasing paradoxes. It took me 5 years, literally laying in bed at night going, well, what is the answer? This is the answer. Don't ask all or nothing questions anymore. If I ask Mike, hey, Mike, does it make sense for me to list your home? Or, hey, Mike, does it make sense to sign the listing agreement? Did I ask Mike to do anything? Yes or no, guys? Yell it out. Yes or no? Did I ask Mike to do anything? No. By the way, people will do the thing you want them to do if you don't put pressure on them. They're more likely to do it. So stop asking your kid, do you want to do your homework? before hockey practice? Do you want to promote me to vice president of sales? Do you want to sign the listing agreement? Because they could say yes and they could say no. Start asking, does it make sense to? Okay? You're not asking them to do anything. Here's the other thing. Mike cannot reject me on signing the listing agreement with me if I say, does it make sense? Because does it make sense is a timing question. And this hit me like a ton of bricks at 14 years old and changed my life. You much rather would have a not right now than a no. Because if somebody tells you no, you become the kidding Target that's or Kmart that's like, well, why not? What do I need to do to get your business? How can we make a deal here, Mike? I really want to list this home. You become a groveling child. But if I say no to doesn't make sense, hey, Matt, does it make sense to sign the listing agreement? Yeah, Mike, it does. Congratulations, you made a great decision. What happens next? I'm going to shoot you over a DocuSign. Sheila from my team on the marketing will get with you on the photographs of the house. Welcome aboard. Can't wait to sell your house in Denver here. Get you over to Boca Raton, right? What happens next? You got the sale. That's easy. But here's where the magic comes in, guys. Hey, Mike, does it make sense? Or, hey, Matt, does it make sense to sign the listing agreement? No, Mike, it doesn't. Got it. What's a good next step then? Simple. What did I say? Did I say, well, what do I need to do to get your business? Well, come on, if I cut my rate from 6% to 4%, will you do it? Guys, you can be more skillful. The NSO, next step, obsess. I'm not the sharpest knife in the drawer. I do a lot of jujitsu, which means I'm separated from my consciousness. See, there it goes. Often. Okay, if I can do this, you guys can do this. Just learn it's easier to get your way when you have a flow state. Hey, Mike, does it make sense to sign the listing agreement? No, Matt, it doesn't. Got it. What's a good next step? You're going to find when you shut up, people, by the way, say no reflexively. They say no reflexively. Back in the day when we were ooga booga living in caves, half of us said yes reflexively, half of us said no reflexively. The cave people that said yes, it's like, hey, look, want to go outside the cave? And Mike is like, yes, bam, saber-toothed tiger. Wiped him out. He's dead. He's not going to have any kids. Hey, Mike, want to eat these berries? Wham, poison, dead. Okay, there's only a few people left on planet Earth that say yes by default. You can tell who they are if you look at the side of their head. They have a Red Bull logo on it. One of them is my friend Travis Pastrana. Okay, I don't know how Travis Pastrana, if you don't know who he is, look him up. I have no idea why he's still alive. Because it'll be like, hey, Trav, you want to jump out of an airplane completely naked with nothing but a can of Red Bull? Somebody else will bring you a parachute. You'll put that sucker on and pull the ripcord before you die. Oh, yes. Yes. Other people, we have to expect that they're going to say no. Hey, Mike, does it make sense to sign the listing agreement? No. Got it. What's a good next step then? Let's say Mike says, I don't know. Totally understand. What's a good next step for me? People love to boss other people around. I lay in bed at night thinking about this stuff so you guys don't have to. When you understand the rules of the matrix, y'all, you can bend the rules of the matrix, right? Hey, Mike, does it make sense to sign the listing agreement? No. Got it. What's a good next step? I don't know. I don't know. Totally understand. What's a good next step for me? Let's say Mike still says, I don't know. Just set a next step. Okay? Totally get it, Mike. How about we do this? What is today? Friday. I'll give you a call Monday at 2 if I haven't heard from you before then. Fair enough? Right? Now what have I done? I've set a next step. I've created a sustainable pipeline. I never beg Mike. Okay? There's my phone number, 720-660-3202. Real quick, and I know I'm out of time. Let me show you how to make this more powerful. How the hell do we make this even more powerful? It's simple. Slow down in the beginning. When you slow the process down in the beginning, you can speed up the result in the end. When you understand where Mike wants to go, you can attach it to your close. If I was Mike, cover your ears. Because you didn't give me the $500 a month for Easton University. But if I was Mike, and Mike was on Easton University, I would probably tell Mike there's one question and one question above all that he should be asking every single person. And that is this. Hey, Matt, just out of curiosity, what's your biggest reason for moving? Once Mike understands by the way, people don't move to anything, they move away from things. It's too small. My wife's pregnant. I hate my neighbor lady. She's freaking crazy. If I see any more of her signs, I'm going to lose my freaking mind. Right? Once Mike understands that, what's your biggest reason? When you say you hate your neighbor, can you give me a specific example? Her signs, they're killing me. The place is too big. I want to be by the ocean, whatever the answers are. Now, when Mike understands this stuff, he can attach the outcome to the close. Hey, Matt, does it make sense to have me list the house so you can be rid of that nasty neighbor next door and focus on moving to Boca Raton? Boom. Simple. Right? Hey, does it make sense for you to send some contracts our way at Propy so we can show you how fast, easy, and effective it is to get through the ESCO process, and you can help grow your business, Mike, from 4.5 million a year to 7.4. Attach the outcome to the ask. It's not about you guys. It's not about your technology. And then it's the same damn process in the end, right? Mike still says no, which he won't because I attach the outcome to it. Got it. What's a good next step? I don't know, Matt. Totally understand, Mike. What's a good next step for me? I don't know. How about we do this? I'll call you Thursday if I haven't heard from you before then, right? You guys, when you learn a system, and I just gave you 20, well, I went way over on time. You guys can send me the bill. When you guys have a system for this, it's the same as having a system for everything else in life, okay? My best friend's the greatest quarterback to ever play football. He doesn't show up and go, hey guys, we're all just going to run around on the field. We're going to run around real hard. He has a play, Demarius, okay? You line up over there on the left. Now, if I say that word, it sounds like a Nebraska city. That means whatever I told you guys to do in the huddle, we're not doing that. Okay, that means I'm going to send a dink route over to Demarius. Demarius, just be ready. I'm going to throw it to you. Like, you guys have to have a process. The same way an NFL quarterback has a process. If you think sales is, I'm going to be real personal and I'm going to be real relationship driven and I'm just going to work really hard, you guys are going to be really disappointed with your life, right? When you guys have systems for this and everything else, if the light is yellow, well, it's Florida. If the light's yellow, I go like hell. I'm learning Florida, by the way. Mike, how long you lived in Florida? You live in Florida? 14 years. You guys look at the traffic light. I've noticed because now I've lived here for 4 months. I'm figuring it out. You guys watch when I'm at a red light, and as soon as you guys hit the horn. As soon as it turns green, I'm like, what the hell? It's crazy out here. It's a system, right? Just like Mike has a system for honking his horn at me because I am too damn slow at the green light. It's a system. You guys, if you don't learn my system in sales, learn a system. I know I went over on time. I know I'm keeping you guys on a Friday. I love you guys. Please, life can be a lot easier for you if you start to learn this stuff wherever you're at in your career. If these guys are blowing up a business, by the way, I would come over to this table and say, hey, can I buy some stock in your company? Because I think there's something big cooking over here. I'm just saying. But no matter where you're at, if you're Mike, if you're these guys that are cooking up something big, wherever you guys are at in your life, start to figure out a system. If it's not my system, figure out your own, but have a gosh darn system. And when you do that, life becomes a lot easier. I'll see you guys. I appreciate you guys having me. Have a great weekend. And see you guys. Thanks.